done on Mirage, but we'll see. It's all, you know, kind of up in the air because you have to kind of temper your expectations and what you expect from both of these teams given the circumstances of their rosters right now.
This is a group stage best of 3 elimination match between Liquid and Astralis. Whoever thought I'd be saying that as we head on into topside here. Almost immediately Astralis, they're not messing about. Team Liquid are going to be playing that retake on topside as the bomb plant comes in.
Yeah, Team Liquid pretty heavily set up in towards outside. Here's this cute little rafters boost, but they fluffed it a little bit, and instead they're going to have to abandon that as that Annex smoke phase. It's put Astralis in a very sticky situation. Config wants to leave, Glaive wants to stay, and now Astralis actually filtering out of the site, but they found the first pick.
Now, they're all going to have to filter into this bomb site, though. And look at this hut presence from Astralis. They're just going to harass the defuse, though. They're making it work. Stewie with the knife, and the defuse comes out. What is going on? Pandemonium for the first round, and that may be a window into the future for this series. How do you track what's going on there?
Chaos. You can't. But that knife means that Stewie, he goes, hey, I've got a lot of cash in the bank. Here you go, Fallen. Here's the AWP for you straight away. Astralis, after the bomb plant, incentivized to buy. They're going to put some AKs together. They're still kind of organizing themselves in spawn right now, so they're going to be a little bit late out of the gates, and that might give an opportunity to Fallen to potentially try to pick someone on the cross. But Astralis started to make their way out of spawn, so they burnt a little bit of extra time off the clock. Let's see what they're going to be going for in a round like this. They've only got the 3 smokes here. First one, in fact, all of them being invested on outside here, so at least they're going to avoid that AWP threat, which, to be fair, is probably not something you're expecting in a round like this if you are Astralis, but they've done a good job mitigating the risk, and they start to make some inroads towards Secret now.
Slower pace. Might not play into their favor. As you can see, both teams quite light on utility. So this is just going to come down to a good old-fashioned brawl in the end. Astralis do have that positioning now with Glaive towards Secret, but I mean, he hasn't really been able to pull anybody from Team Liquid away. They're happy to just give that outside presence to Astralis. Fallen's all the way back in spawn, so the chance of a wrap is going to be minimal. They don't have utility to displace him. They're going to have to try and take those jewels.
I mean, there's no way they're ready for Fallen in a position like that, right? And they're going to crab walk under the angle. They might have just timed him perfectly. This could be a bit of a freebie for the T's, but they don't spot Fallen in there, and the footsteps heard means he gets a freebie onto Glaive now heading into that ramp room. That's pressure on Nap, who's got a player right next to him. That's a Famis gifted over to Glaive. He's going to say thank you very much, but with no utility, there's no coverage to get across to the lower side. It's a good thing they got rid of EliGE, but no control of the control room, and that is the critical juncture where Astralis unfortunately times themselves out. And after you see them burn a whole bunch of time off the clock deciding on how to get that second round buy going at the start of the round, it's probably a little disappointing.
That round had so many twists and turns. Liquid, though, were ready for that almost immediately. And you're right, Astralis just burning down the clock, giving themselves absolutely no time, no chance to play for that plant at all. They had to just commit to it. And Liquid run away with that quite nicely. Zipex saving over that AK. So they do have that hero potential.
Sure. I mean, Zitnix in the game against Mouse was pretty insane. And I view Nuke as one of these maps where a man with his skill set can really open up a whole new realm of possibilities. He could see the lines, you know. Zipex, effectively the equations man. See that meme? All the calculations being done in the head.
Rain Man.
Oh.
Young Stu having a ripping first half. And Astralis are just dead in the water right now. No territory. Nobody from Liquid aggressing. So their opportunities into this round are quite limited.
No doubt. Astralis. Effectively the waiting room for Zipnix to have some impact here. He hasn't moved a muscle. Still sitting inside his hut.
make a very successful doctor. Has a lot of patience. Grim. And is the movement shown towards top side here. It's going to just find the second. Ooh, config though. Makes it interesting. Some work to be done as Astralis are cleaned up. But around going the way of Team Liquid, where very little in the way of resistance from Astralis. As we said, there was only that one AK saved over from the previous round, so it was just a money building exercise for them. Zepex down to the Mac 10 with his unfortunate demise. And Liquid, they've been building economy. They've been minimizing their losses. Only Grim has seen a grisly end quite a few times. But everybody else has been able to keep everything in their back pocket.
Yep. Team Liquid right from the get-go. Little bit of pressure on outside. Wasn't going to be too surprised if you saw EliGE floating into a bit more of an aggressive position than he's in, but he's going to temper himself and sit back in towards the annex side. Pretty standard first gun round in from Liquid. Nothing too crazy, but still he going to take matters into his own hands. Aggressing into Hut. Nice little pop flash to potentially set him up for a pick. But no one to receive. And Astralis, after burning a good 30 seconds off the clock, going to set up for some of these outside smokes and then move through the rest of the round from there. Blame. We'll see if he does float towards outside. Astralis looking to pressure ramp room now.
So much time is being burned off, but now we're going to head towards ramp now. EliGE needs to make sure he's not caught out of position here. They've gotten onto the fact he's there. That's good for two. Naf chimes in. Fallen is there, and this is a nice trap set by Liquid. Astralis only with their hopes and dreams on the back of the wide swing from Grim, and that is the round. Honestly, quite a well-worked crossfire from Team Liquid. Astralis, though, they're finding themselves just having to deathball into these choke points, and it's not working in their favor.
Getting picked apart by, I would say, some pretty basic crossfires. Not a whole lot of tells in a round like that of actual players putting pressure on. Astralis just assuming that the utility is going to do the work for them. This time, they've taken the opposite approach. A combination of the utility as well as the firepower as the Tech-9s make their way onto the site. Too much spacing. blameF with the roller skates on, just sliding across the screen of some of the CTs. And now Astralis have found themselves a little bit of space on the site. But Team Liquid, well and truly not out of things. Maybe I spoke a little bit too soon. It's all on Fallen.
He's had that orb since the second round, and I'm sure he's able to keep his mitts on it. He'll want to retain it as long as possible, but I was about to say Astralis were going to make that expensive for Liquid. They've turned that back in their favor. The bomb plant comes in, and it's looking very likely a round win for them because Fallen is not interested at all in going for that. Team Liquid, it was just that change of tempo from Astralis. It catches them off guard.
Yeah. All I'm saying is we're 2 for 2 on the half buys into Upper Rush today on Nuke. Good strat.
High success rate, high strike rate. And that's what you need. 2 elimination games thus far. Oh, blameF's not going to check. And that is Fallen revealing his position, but smartly nobody from Astralis. Unless Zipex can catch him here. Fallen will not peak again, and that is a round well worked by Astralis. As you said, it was just a change in tempo, change in pace, the speed and ferocity of those Tech-9s catching them off guard.
Yeah, great bang for their buck as well. Not a whole lot invested in a round like that. And not only do they take a round, but they also really pressure the CT side economy. Team Liquid now scraping the bottom of the bank accounts, and with only 1,900 loss bonus, they are effectively broke if they lose this one, whereas Astralis, their money still looks relatively clean right now, and they've got the loss bonus behind them. Quick outside smokes. I think one of which might have been extinguished by a CT Molotov, so it might be difficult for Astralis to cross here. Yeah, indeed. One of them has definitely missed the mark. Double AWP coming in for Team Liquid, and Naf has already put that to pretty good use to find the opener over towards the radio there.
The problem for Astralis is that they have to expend a lot of utility now. Just trying to get themselves into position, trying to contend with this double AWP setup, but what we're seeing from Config cops a lot of damage for his trouble. So really are starting to feel the heat now, Astralis, as Liquid looking relatively unfazed. They've got good utility level still to defend these bomb sites. Yes, Astralis do have position. blameF is through secret, but they can only get out the vent here. Astralis might be able to put pressure on this lower bomb site. Stewie might actually let them out. All in. He takes aggro and just allows Stu to do his thing. Glaive has got to fight their way back into this. It is still a 3 versus 4. Config barely clinging on to life. They have control of lowers, and EliGE is going to arrive just on time. This
Glaive
is a
gets
hot
across, but that molly kind of sealing the deal. And Config never even had a chance, Jim. He got 96 in forward through the smoke earlier that round.
Oh no. Grim catches him. And you're right, heading into this, Config not having the impact that he wanted. I mean, he's on a 35 to 51 KD and a 60.6 ADR so far at IEM Winter. So, despite the team's relative success, he really hadn't had the impact at all. And I think, that story sort of starts to continue for him here, but definitely one of those players that benefits from a clear role definition. And if that's what's happening in Astralis, they're just experimenting. Certainly going to be struggling with his place in this team right now.
Yeah, I think definitely capable of a lot more than the output shown thus far, but a rough game in the opener against NIP could be where you see some of that coming in. Astralis, like I said, getting good bang for their buck out of the half buy means that they are able to put another buy on the board despite getting smacked around in that last round. Blame, he's been searching outside pretty routinely from the Nuke games we've seen from this Astralis core. He's found some good space here.
Oh. Finds the head of Fallen too, so now power of position. And it forces Grim to take aggro in the hut. They are in trouble here, Liquid. They need to fight their way out. Grim's good for 2 though, so he gives them a breath of fresh air with 3.
Oh, that's beautiful. Precision shooting. Lucky's trying to dig them out of this bad situation, though, and blame in the rafter is probably not something you would have bargained for, but the problem is it's not like control of the bomb site means too much. When the bomb's been dropped in lobby by Grim, he was keen for the ace, but won't be given it. Lucky caught with nade in hand. It's on blame to clutch.
That's a 2v1. Ooh, recollect the bomb, but nah. Solid pair of hands in rafter, and that is a good round for Liquid. It just curbs the upward trend from Astralis slightly. As you said, the loss bonus is still relatively healthy. It's not going to cover all players' losses though, but a much needed round from Grim to just get himself into this series.
Yeah. I think Grim on Liquid has been a bit more refined to a bit of a role player, bit of an anchor. You often see him with util in hand for some of the boys or playing some of those supportive roles. It's good to see him just reclaim some of that triumph form and just let loose a little. Just sanding it into lobby and taking duel after duel, and he's good for it. Tack timeout for Astralis. Things are spinning out of control at a rate they're probably not comfortable with. Can't put a buy together here, but will again half buy with a hero AK.
I mean, that's big shoulders of responsibility, but they are big shoulders on blameF, so you've got the right player for the job.
That's it. See if he can lift this round.
Fast approach. Again, that change of pace. It did catch Liquid off before. Enough though, once bitten, twice shy. Does take Zipex, but the rest of Astralis, they haven't aggressed with him, so they're just going to stream into lowers here. Essentially 1 by 1.
He's still got Glaive in the back of lobby. Anticipating a push. He's looking for that player to go a little bit deeper on the CT side from outside, but he's not going to be obliged right now. Liquid quite happy with the man advantage and with this superior weaponry to just sit back in high percentage positions. So all Astralis are really doing is just burning more time off the clock right now.
burning up so much time. Waiting for Glaive to get to his position. I mean, Liquid, they're happy to just let that be. Give them outside control. Got numbers in lower. So it's not a question of whether or not they've got the players in the right position. But if Glaive can fashion a frag here, he's going to make Astralis' job so much easier hitting that lower side. Yes, they do have two here. NAF is deeply anchored. And they have hit the go button. Oh, Glaive strikes. Here we go. NAF is good. He does the dance around the pole, but he cannot get anywhere. blameF with that one AK. And they now pick up that M4 on Glaive. So this is a 3 versus 3 with some venom. Compic will get the plant. They will try and prevent it though. Liquid. Stewie. Straight out through the smoke. No surprises there. And now Glaive has got that deagle. Out of bullets on the M4. Desperate attempt to save the round for Astralis.
They need to put some rounds on the board. But as always, one of the biggest win conditions you can set yourself up for is to just break that CT money as hard as possible. And every little bit of chip damage you're getting in is assisting you in having that comeback potential. Astralis take a couple guns off of Liquid. Going to reinvest and give another buy a crack. And with 1,400 loss bonus and a couple of pretty broke players on Liquid, there is very real potential for Astralis to fashion something here for themselves. Straight out of the squeaky door, they're going to take a little bit of util damage, but the flash coverage is pretty solid to get that entry into the side on Grim. Stewie trying to fight from heaven. Those were very quick frags that he was able to find. So into a 3-on-3. And again, it's up to Astralis to get comfortable in the post plant. They're going to be given the space to get that bomb down, having mollied out heaven. Smoke off on Annex. So Utility doing a fantastic job at just mitigating the risk and keeping Liquid at arm's length.
Post plant positioning and the plant itself mean that Astralis likely have to fight in the site. Lucky bomb is not planted for him, so Liquid getting ready to stage their retake. That grenade is just going to deafen NAF momentarily. However, they're going to make it work. Oh, NAF the hero from heaven. Had a lot of work to do. I thought that grenade was going to crush him. Liquid get that round seemingly quite easy, but they're constantly taking losses here, Pilski, and that just keeps the economy somewhat honest. However, this is the first time in a while it feels as though they've been able to keep 3 up.
Bomb plan in from Astralis, plus the T-side loss bonus. I think we all know how that story goes. It's going to be buys on buys. Astralis given more and more time to try to put together a more convincing gun round, because the individual brilliance on Liquid is really a bit of a problem for Astralis on this T side right now.
Fast and furious. EliGE tries to do it sideways through the smoke, but Fallen has no further intel to provide to the team. They do get that player down secret. So blameF has taken some damage doing so, but more importantly, he has that positioning. Oh, Stewie has to fall. Flash. Pixel perfect. And, well, blameF has been eliminated. Stewie's got a lot of work to do. Oh, couldn't find the transfer onto the second. However, the trades are relatively good now for Astralis.
This could be the round where they get it done. Molly going to keep the AWPer back while Glade puts the plant down, and it's the dynamic duo from the old core in the 2-on-2 here. Flash is being layered in here for Liquid. And Fallen, a vertical flick, just ends zip. Glade's got to do it on his own.
He has the element of surprise, though. They have no information as to where he could be. They're going to wait out that time. The smoke will come in. The defuse will come on the back of that. Fallen still looking for that bomb. Glaive has got to play the timer perfectly, and now he reveals his position. Good for the trade, though. Grim coming in clutch for Liquid. And another round that just thins that Liquid economy. It is, well, still some way away from being totally broken, but Astralis, that plant means they are able to buy in very well to the next round. This, you could just feel Astralis getting closer and closer. However, these retakes from Liquid, they're looking like the better team.
Yeah, they're just not winning. They're just not losing the XVXs. You know, even if Astralis are able to put themselves in the post plants, they are not able to close them. Definitely a rough state of affairs. But you can't fault Liquid right now, man. They're seeming pretty tight and on point.
Oh,
Oh, a cup of tea. That sounds great. I might go
yeah.
boil the kettle here in a second, maybe in the halftime break.
Wonder what his go-to is. Is he a chai latte man?
That's a yellow tag. It's probably not much of a giveaway.
Lemon ginger, maybe?
Oh, lemon ginger, yeah.
That's a favorite. But I mean, this is some domination here from Liquid. But they're not necessarily having an easy time doing so. These are coming down, as you said, to those XVX situations, right? It's breaking down to post-plant, breaking down to retakes. Economy of Liquid is going to be questionable. If they do lose a round, it just feels as though that they're building a very large deck of cards, and a house of cards could potentially break here if that CT side fail to win one of these rounds. And Astralis know that. Astralis know that they keep chipping away at it. They're just reducing their opponent's loss bonus. They're taking scalps with them. That means that it's going to be expensive for Liquid to recover.
Ooh, a couple of smokes dropped for Blaine. He's going to throw the wall of smokes on outside himself. Try to sow some seeds of doubt in Team Liquid's mind about what the numbers on outside are. Stand straight through from Stewie indoor. He's been good for it time and time again. Speaking of a man who's been good for it, Naf has been impeccable. But he does get floored by Lucky, traded back by Fallen. But Astralis have done what they set out to do. They've got control of the ramp room. This is pushing and pulling the CT rotations. Liquid have been deprived information. And now Astralis going to creep back towards upper. Blame can meet up with the rest of the lads on the creep through Annex. And this is where the two arms of the push could potentially embrace Fallen on this upper site. Grim's there to assist him as well.
Oh, Grim strikes. The trade, they're looking for it, Astralis, and they're going to expend so much trying to get him in. That allows Fallen to find two. And it's all on the shoulders of blameF. There was a lot of space for him to work with, but that is since reduced.
No.
EliGE pops up, says hello from below, and that is another round that goes the way of Astralis. Oh, sorry, Team Liquid. Astralis just faltering in these rounds. They did so much in the early stages. They created so much space. You're right, they had that freedom to create push-pull. blameF had some space to finally work with outside, but they enter topside. Grim's able to pinch two.
Yeah.
That's a round gone begging.
Yeah, it's all the mid-round fights, mid to late round fights that are going the way of Liquid. Like Astralis, they're not doing a terrible job of setting themselves up in decent positions. But they're kind of getting outdone in the mid to late round. And not just once or twice, every bloody round. Liquid have just been better in a lot of these duels. Their firepower is surpassing that of what Astralis can put together right now. And that's where the difference is being made. For the most part. There are some finer details in there. We're not going to oversimplify it, but Astralis, the only round they got was on a bit of a half bite. See if they can reclaim some of that magic. Wall of smoke on outside. Flush over the top, sends up Stewie for some more excellence with the A1S.
Config hasn't been spotted out. Stu's aware of potential. Is that the drop from Config? It is. Now Stewie is just looking unbeatable outside. That's a nice solid round. Team Liquid, they stabilise themselves so nicely. 11-1. This is not the result I was expecting.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was almost thinking to myself, you know, a team like Liquid, with so many outstanding players in every position, take a little bit of pressure off their shoulders. You give all of these individuals the freedom to just go for some of those aggro plays if they want to. You've seen it from a couple of them so far. Grim pushing lobby, Stewie all over the place. Naf was all the way up radio with the AWP earlier on. Just so many potential snags that Astralis can trip up on. And Fallen is again one of them. That's the second time an AWP has found opening pick in towards that ramp room. Into radio. So Astralis kicking off another 4-on-5.
I'd love to take a look at how many opening duels have gone the way of Fallen. EliGE just allows blameF. They know that he works around these smokes. Oh, it's nice and easy for it. And the rest of Astralis, there's nothing they could do on the other side of that smoke. They just have to let EliGE slip away, but okay, they're going to regress through it. EliGE does not know what is lurking on the other side of that smoke. Config levels him. Now Astralis do have control of outside, but clock is starting to tick for them. Find that pick, that is handy. However, Liquid are finding trades as the CT numbers start to thin. The task gets even harder. This is looking like a round for Astralis.
Yeah, it could be. I think good positioning from both of the final CTs, though, could definitely unhinge things. They've been convincingly better in the mid to late round time and time again, and we don't get to see it, but Fallen in towards Secret cleans up both of the last two.
I'm sorry. Again, what? How does he pull them out of that situation?
I mean, I saw him. I saw him. He was sliding up on the line in Secret.
Oh my goodness.
Re-aggressing. I mean, I expected him to be scoped in, but that's just classic Fallen, isn't it? Shotgun AWPing is his forte.
Frustrations for Astralis, but here we go. Changing tempo here. Straight through that squeaky door. The Molotov chokes him up slightly. And that is not good news for Astralis. They cannot get down that vent.
Yep, another opening duel going the way of Liquid, and I was talking about it before. Individuals having the freedom to aggress if they so choose to. NAF is deep up radio yet again. In that part of the map, it's got to be so frustrating for Astralis. You're getting a different look every time, Jim. One round you're getting an aggressive AWP, one round you're getting a passive AWP, one round you're getting an aggressive rifle, one round you're getting a passive rifle. Just never know what to expect, and it's felt like a lot of the different mix-ups have gone the way of Liquid more often than not. So in the 2-on-4, again, it's one of the veterans to try to work outside, see if they can find a bit of an opening.
Oh. That one goes the way of Zipex. It's Fallen does leave a lot of room now outside for Astralis, but I've seen them manage to recover very nicely. As you said, in his mid to late rounds, that's where Team Liquid are doing the better job of making those adjustments. A lot of work still to do. 2v3 for Astralis. All they need to do is just hold their positions, Liquid.
Oh. Those micro adjustments that EliGE does so well. Just understanding the mechanics so beautifully. You see him shift into the right side as that smoke starts to fade. Just those tiny little movements that can really make the difference in those kind of fights.
13-1. That is an incredible turn of events.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's been a crazy, crazy game from Liquid. But this is what happens when star potential is realized right across the board, Jim.
I mean, you'd argue this Liquid roster always had that star potential, right? But they're playing to their potential. Astralis, they've been trying everything. Okay, the MAC-10s are going to force their way onto this site. However, they run into the wall of Fallen and Grim. And I tell you what, if you're Astralis right now, things are looking quite grim. As Glaive has that UMP. Might be able to catch Grim off. And he does. But now in the 2-on-1, what's working for him now is the fact that Fallen has the AWP. So with 18 HP, got a lot of work to do. He's hoping Liquid will make the mistake. They'll re-aggress here. Very patient from Glaive.
Yeah, waiting for a CT to get a bit too big for his boots. Fallen again, in these 2-on-1s or small man situations, he's often staying active, searching for the player aggressively and shifting around the place. NAF just chooses to put his back to a wall. Okay. All right. I thought Glaive was trying to underarm and misclicked, but he picks himself up an AK.
And an interesting turn of events. He throws a UMP instead of a smoke, but bomb plant will be faked out. And that's actually just going to give Liquid time to regroup for the retake. They don't have the information, but nor does Glaive. So he has to meticulously check everything, be aware of his positioning. He's going to take a risk here. That's actually going to allow Fallen to slip into the bomb site. With Naf and Fallen have a lot of work to do. Oh, he's going to catch the timing. He has no idea where Fallen is. And Fallen now is going to give that away. Glaive, he's got to play a high-stakes game of Ring Around the Rosie, and Fallen will find him. The defuse will come in, and that is going to be a dominating half of Counter-Strike from Liquid. Who would have expected it? Certainly not I, certainly not you. We'll be back with the second half after the break.
You can start this round with 60 HP. And we'll probably still take it. We'll see though. Molly going to come out here for Fallen. 2 sets of utility. It's all the utility pressure in here for Liquid as they hit the timing into upper. It's only a 1-for-1. Glaive getting pressured. He's trying to back in towards the squeaky door, but he's chased down. Config gets wiped out on the site. And now Astralis in a 2-on-4.
They still have the Minister of Clutch coming in. What can he fashion for Astralis? It's a hard task. Compatriot blameF has been tagged to 16 and he's nowhere near the action. He's in another zip code.
Oh boy. It's like the tradies working on the road near me, mate. We've got a whole bunch of the boys digging holes on the road, and then I saw one of them legs up at the cafe down the road.
Max chilling. No chance of winning the round.
Oh, that one onto Stewie. That was pretty nasty.
Has to take some scalps.
That's going to be the Wooden Spoon Award for blameF at this point. Because Liquid's on map point. Any percent speed run of a IEM winter lower bracket game.
15-1. Okay. Astralis want to do this on hard mode.
Dude, the only round they've won is a half buy on the T side with an uppers rush. That's actually ludicrous.
The scary thing is this is picked by Astralis. So, Liquid, they've bought into this with absolutely everything, taking no chances. But I mean, those MAC 10s are just going to provide them with freedom of movement across the map. You look at Astralis' buy and it's not inspiring me a lot, I will give you that.
Yeah. We'll see. They can double up their rounds here, though. That's Sonks right there. It's only up from here for Astralis. Config. It's a good angle for the MP9 on top of Hut, and the smoke's definitely going to help him out. He's doing some acrobatics. Through the fire and the flames into some more fire.
It's not good.
Out of the frying pan into the frying pan.
Doing his best Tony Hawk's pro skater impression.
Well, we'll see what kind of sick moves Team Liquid have at this point. They're meandering around the lobby. Perhaps waiting for their room to get cleaned up. Not quite there yet.
Dangerous for Astralis. Oh, re-aggression here from Lucky. Cannot provide the trade that they need, and this is going to be top site overrun, and you feel as though this is all but a formality, as Glaive, as good as he is, will not be able to clutch from this position. He will go down. That is 16-1 the score. Astralis falling on their map pick of Nuke, and this is not the start to this series that I was envisioning. We'll be back after the break to break it down where this went wrong.